Troy were two neighboring countries. They often fought for petty reasons. During one such battle, the Greeks captured Troy using their intelligence. Let's read the lesson and learn about this great victory. In ancient times, there were two small countries in Europe. Their names were Troy and Greece. They were neighbors, but they often fought against each other for some small reasons. Once, during the reign of King Priam, the Greeks attacked Troy. However, they could not conquer it because there were high walls on all sides of the kingdom. Therefore, the Greeks set up their camps in front of the main gates and waited for it to open. They thought that the Trojans would surrender as soon as their stock of grains is finished. But the gates were not opened for 10 long years. The Greeks became impatient. They felt that they could never capture the kingdom. At last, they thought upon a plan. They built a large wooden horse which was hollow inside. They put some of their best soldiers inside the belly of the horse. Then they set fire to their camps and left the place with all their belongings. However, they left the horse beside the burning tents. Early next morning, when the Trojan soldiers looked out towards the great camps of the Greeks which had stood there for so many years, they could not believe their own eyes. They rubbed their eyes and looked again. The Greeks have gone indeed. We are safe now, they cried in joy. The camps are burnt to ashes. There is neither a single man nor a huge ship to be seen. But there stands in the midst of the ruins a huge wooden horse, the like of which we have never seen before. They added. Soon the big gates of Troy were opened and the people came out running. Everybody was laughing and shouting in joy that the Greeks were gone at last. They came to the ruined camps and stood gazing at the huge wooden horse that stood in the middle of the ruins. Now the Trojans began to discuss about what should be done with the horse. Some of them wanted to take it inside the city as a souvenir, while some others wanted to throw it into the sea. After a long discussion, it was decided to take the wooden horse inside. They dragged it across the plain and reached the gate of the city. But the horse was so big that it could not enter through the gates. They thought for some time and then broke down a section of the wall. Now they were able to take the horse in. They pulled it along the streets and brought it to the market square and placed it there. That night, the Trojans arranged a grand feast to celebrate the occasion. They ate, drank, and danced on the streets. Even the soldiers also joined in the merrymaking crowd. At last, worn out with excitement and celebration, they fell asleep, leaving a few guards by the walls and the gates. Inside the huge wooden horse, the Greek soldiers were waiting patiently. When the first light of morning came, they undid the bolts and opened the door from inside. One by one, all the soldiers came down on the street. There was nobody on the street, and the guards near the gate and the wall were fast asleep. The Greek soldiers killed the sleeping guards without any resistance and opened the gates for their army who had sailed back to Troy in the dead of night. And thus the Greeks conquered Troy, virtually without any resistance.